And just from a team standpoint, how great was it to see Josh out there? I know he's a little bit limited, but just having him out there with you guys.
Just seeing a face, that we haven't seen all training camp. It was a good feeling, to have our brother, on the sideline, have him out here on the practice field with us. He was bringing that energy back. I'm excited to see him. We all know what Josh can do, so I'm just ready for when he, gets back into the next step or whatever he got to do, and just, getting that equipment.
The NFL says he's good to go for all activities, including games. So
yeah.
It's right around the corner. Does it seem like this is something you've been waiting for a long time?
Yeah, I want to see him excel. He's a talented young man. He has God-given ability, and we're fully behind him. And like I said, me coming in here, building a relationship with him, I know the things that he's capable of doing, and I'm just excited to see him get that opportunity to go showcase his talent and take whatever proper steps he needs to take to be fully healthy and fully ready to play.
You've known him probably as long as anyone around here in terms of the players. Just how close are you to him, and how I don't know what the right word is, maybe proud of him to see how he keeps battling through what he's had to deal with.
Yeah, I've known Josh for 5 years now. He's a quiet guy if you don't know him, but once you really, know him on a personal level and able to talk to him, he's a great guy. He always putting other people before him, and he's just a, guy that loves to work. So whenever, you see him taking those proper steps, it just excites me just to see that, he can get through adversity. I think that's probably like the most adversity you can see. And, he's gotten through it, and, us as his family, especially here on the football field, we're helping him get through it. So I'm proud of Josh. I just can't wait to see him excel this year.
Do you kind of keep an eye on him a little bit? I mean, do you kind of keep up with him that way to make sure he's okay off the field and that he needs,
Yeah, I treat him like any other teammate. Your teammate is your responsibility. So, I look at him just like I look at any other guy. Make sure they're going down the right path. Make sure they're doing everything they got to do to help this team win. Make sure their off the field activities, is being policed. And I take pride in doing that just for being a leader on the team, just being a good teammate. You have to treat all your teammates the same way. So there's no difference with Josh. You got to treat him the same way as your other teammates and just continue to look after everybody.
With today's news that he can get back and being in the walkthrough and everything, did you sense any kind of excitement from him or relief from him?
Josh, he's a laid-back guy. He's not really going to show too much emotion as far as, getting that excitement to get back on the field. I think he's just going to do what he do best, and that's work hard. And we're all excited for him to do that.
To what extent have you begun thinking about Pittsburgh from the standpoint that's the real game that's on deck and being pretty fast?
I mean, I've been thinking about Pittsburgh since preseason started. I guess this last game was somewhat of a dress rehearsal to get ready for it, but my mind has always been on Pittsburgh. That's the game that counts. That's the game that matters. So I think we'll have a perfect game plan for them, and then that team win.
Have you been looking in on the specifics of what's going on with the Steelers through camp in the preseason, or looking at the past dates or whatever?
Just look at the past games, and then just looking at some of the preseason games. But we've been playing Pittsburgh forever. I've been playing them for the past 5 years. So just look at old tape, just look at players right now, and see what they do best, and just kind of forming your mind back into that game mode, season opener, and just trying to fix everything to that. So you watch a little bit of film here and there, and then you obviously got to watch film on yourself because this is training camp. So, but we'll be ready for Pittsburgh.
We saw that obviously the 4 3-and-outs against the Bills, 4 takeaways just a couple days ago. How confident are you that when the real games begin, this defense can dominate the way it has in some of these practice games?
I'm always confident. Anything that I do, anything that this team do, I'm always going to be confident. So, just to see our guys go out there and fight and get those turnovers, I mean, that's something that, we really harp on. It wasn't that great last year with the turnovers, but this year, it's a different mentality. So I'm confident. I'm excited for our guys.
Hey, Kirk, what have you seen in Miles that maybe we haven't seen before?
As far as what?
Just he seems like he's taking it to another level.
Well, he had 1 year under his belt. You get more and more confident, and you get more knowledgeable of the game. So that just comes with experience. And I just think he's getting comfortable to where he's not thinking as much as he was doing last year. Being his rookie year. So I think his confidence level is out the roof, and that's something that we're seeing through his play on the field.
What is the biggest difference, Kirko, in the way the defense is playing now than it did a year ago?
We're second year under a system, and your first year you always have your rough patches, especially like through communication. But I think our defense is communicating well. We know our assignments to a T, and now we're understanding the defense as a whole. So I think that was the key ingredient is just knowing the defense in and out. So that's to be expected. Second year in the system, you're supposed to be comfortable into it. So I think that was the biggest thing is just how comfortable we are together and playing under one system.
Hey, what have your interactions been like with fans? You were pretty outspoken about what you think this team is capable of doing this season. How's that been different here?
I love the fans. I get a kick out of, having a good time with them, especially like before the game, getting them hyped up. They're part of the team too. When we need a third down stop, we need the crowd behind it. So I feel like when we had a connection with the crowd, and they feel like they're a part of it, it's just special. I was looking around and, looking at the stadium, looking at the seats and things like that. It's a preseason game, and it was almost filled up. So I'm excited for week 1, and excited for the fans to come out there and, enjoy the moment with us, and, we go out there and get that win.
Have you gotten feedback about the playoff prediction?
Say that again?
Have you gotten feedback about the playoff
Oh, they love it. They love it. I mean, as a competitor, you come out here every day. This is your job. You want to be the best in your job. So I'm always going to have that as a goal, is to get to the playoffs, and that's something that the city deserves. And as long as I'm here, as long as I'm walking around playing on this field, that's always going to be my number one goal, is to make it to the playoffs and, get a championship.
Do you get the sense internally, and just it feels like there's this expectation that this is going to be a really good football team, not just a step forward from what you guys have gone through the last couple of years, but this team's going to be a contender. Is that the feeling you get internally?
It's the feeling I get. And it's going to be no greater feeling but to see this team excel and get the wins that the city deserves. And I think this year is going to be special. I think this year is going to shock a lot of people. I know the talent that's on this team. I know what we're building. I know the chemistry. And I don't think we're going to let the fans down this year. I think there's going to be something special. So I'm ready for it.
When the Browns signed Kendricks, questions about how 4 linebackers are going to share play time. Do you get the impression it's going to be 5 with Avery?
Best players are going to be on the field. The more players you have, the more dominant players you have, the more things you can do. So we have more than just 5 good linebackers. We got a lot of linebackers. James Burgess. I think that people forget what he did when Jamie Collins got hurt, and they're throwing out all these other names, but we can't forget about him and the things that he did. I believe he had like a 19 tackle game against Jacksonville, but it goes unheard. Nobody really talked about him. So we got a lot of good linebackers that deserves the praise too. So I wouldn't say it's just 5 good linebackers. We got more than that in the room.
When you guys have
There was a scene in Hard Knocks where you sat down, got in front of Jarvis after that fight and kind of talked to him about, we've got to be smart, we've got to be smart. What makes you want to take it upon yourself to kind of lead guys in that way?
When you're in a leadership role, obviously it's training camp, so things happen in training camp. I've been there, where you got into a fight and just emotions is running and things like that. But once things calm down, that's when you go to a person and you say, hey man, you're one of our guys that we really relying on. I know emotions is running, but try to hold it in because you don't want to have a freak accident just and letting the emotions get the best of you. So I was just trying to be that helpful teammate. I'm just keeping everybody on the same page. But it's training camp, so it's to be expected. Things happen, which is understandable. But I would just tell him just make sure you try to be smart. So, and I think he gets it. I know he gets it, and it was no harm to it.
So Mitchell obviously has the ability to kind of get under the receiver's skin. I mean, do you like that in your corner, and what has he brought to the team?
He's brought a lot of fire. I think we all know what Mitch can do. We just saw it this past weekend, with the forced fumble that he had, and things that he did, in his past career. So I'm excited to see, you know, him just, you know, be that aggressor on the field and, you know, be that guy who's going to talk smack and get in your head. So Money Mitch, he's the man.
How much has all these new faces that are out on your side of the ball and they're all making plays, how much easier is that making your job specifically?
I mean, when we have a bunch of ball players, you know, that's at an elite caliber, you know, all eyes is not on you. You know, you got guys like Myles Garrett, you know, guys like Demarius Randall, Jamie Collins out there to where, you know, you got so many people to worry about. So it makes your job easier because, you know, you're not just the guy getting singled out. You can't single out every dominant player, you know what I'm saying, that's on the field, you know, because that's almost impossible. So, like, the more players that you have that can be dominant, it's like, you know, how can you beat us? So I'm excited, and you know, I'm happy that we have, you know, guys that's really playing at a high level because, you know, it makes plays come to you, and it makes, you know, your job a little easier.
Christian, a lot was made of the game that you guys had defensively in the last game, the first team. But when you look at it on paper, you see no Carson Wentz, Jay Ajayi, 2 receivers out, Jason Peters out. Do you have to temper the enthusiasm a little bit, or are you guys going to be dominant against anybody that you play?
I mean, they can say, you know, Carson Wentz was out and, you know, Jay Ajayi was out, which is cool because Carson Wentz was out when they won the Super Bowl. So it's the same thing. I mean, you can't really use that as an excuse. But I know it's preseason, and I know, like, things are, you know, not all the way put in, but we can say the same thing on our end. You know, everything. We didn't show you everything. We didn't show you everything about our offense. So, you know, Foles is the guy that played last season and, you know, took them through the playoffs and took them to the championship. So, I mean, that's kind of a relevant statement, honestly.